July 4th. Fireworks, parades, the Declaration of Independence, a day etched into American identity. But beneath the celebration lies one of the most haunting coincidences in U.S. history. Three of the nation's earliest presidents, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, and James Monroe, all died on Independence Day. The year was 1826. The United States was marking its 50th 4th of July. Cities held jubilee parades. Bells rang out. Crowds gathered to commemorate half a century of freedom. But even as the nation celebrated, two of its most revered statesmen lay on their deathbeds. Thomas Jefferson, the author of the Declaration of Independence and the third president, had been declining for weeks. At his estate, Monticello, he drifted in and out of consciousness. His final moments were filled with pain, but he reportedly asked whether it was the fourth yet. Told it was, he whispered, "It is the fourth," and slipped away around 12:50 p.m. He was 83. Meanwhile, in Quincy, Massachusetts, John Adams, the second president and Jefferson's longtime rival turned friend, was also nearing the end. At about 6:20 p.m., Adams died at age 90. His final words, according to many accounts, were, "Thomas Jefferson survives." But Jefferson hadn't survived. He had died just hours earlier. For a nation still young and uncertain of its place in the world, this eerie synchronicity felt like a sign. Two titans of the Revolution, co-authors, correspondents, and former presidents, dying on the exact same day, exactly 50 years after they helped forge the country's founding document. The symbolism was impossible to ignore. The public response was profound. Newspapers called it providential. Sermons praised the hand of God. Some citizens wept openly in the streets. Others found meaning in the idea that these men had lived just long enough to witness the 50th anniversary of their revolution. But the story doesn't end there. Exactly 5 years later, on July 4th, 1831, James Monroe, the fifth president of the United States, died in New York City at the age of 73. Monroe, like Jefferson and Adams, was a veteran of the revolutionary generation. His presidency helped usher in the era of good feelings, a period of relative unity and optimism in the post-war nation. Monroe had moved north after his wife's death, and in his final years, suffered from chronic illness and heart complications. On the morning of the 4th, he passed away quietly. Another founder, another 4th of July. 3 presidents, 3 deaths, 1 date. Historians have tried to make sense of the pattern. Jefferson's death followed a long illness. Adams had simply grown old. Monroe had suffered from tuberculosis. There's no medical link, only a timeline. And yet, the pattern captivated Americans. In an age where signs and omens were taken seriously, this triple alignment seemed like destiny. The relationships between these men only deepened the intrigue. Jefferson and Adams were once bitter political enemies, but in their final decades, they rekindled their friendship through a rich correspondence, over 150 letters exchanged. They debated philosophy, democracy, and the future of the republic they helped build. It's fitting, then, that they exited history together, and poignant that Adams, not knowing of Jefferson's earlier death, believed his friend still lived. Some have called Adams's last words apocryphal, a romantic flourish added later, but family records and contemporary witnesses suggest he truly said them, or something very close. As for Monroe, his death on the same date was a quieter affair, but it sealed the legend. A pattern not easily dismissed. Since then, no other U.S. president has died on July 4th. But the coincidence remains one of the most discussed oddities in American presidential history. Similar alignments have occurred elsewhere. Several popes have died on Easter Sunday. Franklin Roosevelt died on the anniversary week of D-Day. But none carry the eerie symmetry of Jefferson, Adams, and Monroe, 3 of the nation's first 5 presidents, all passing on the same patriotic day. In the end, their deaths became part of the mythology of American independence, a republic born on July 4th, and in some ways, laid to rest on it too. If you liked what you watched, please like and subscribe. We post interesting and crazy stories from throughout history every Wednesday and Saturday. Yesterday's craziness? Because yesterday was crazy too.